Who was that, Nan?
Dennis's sister.
Renee.
And her
Renee.
mother died. She was with her when she died. She was 16. And the shock of her mother dying, Renee started having fits. She started having epilepsy. The shock of her mother dying with her had a very bad effect on her. She wouldn't stop crying for weeks, months. She'd wake up crying, go to sleep crying for her mother. She was only 38, she wasn't old. But the bombs falling, she had a weak heart, caused her to have a heart attack and she died. Said it was terrible. They went down in the underground and when they come up all the houses were gone. All the buildings were just dust and bricks. The bombs had fallen on them. Said it was terrible.
That was during the war, Nan, was it?
Yeah. 44, 43, 44. The war ended 45. All that destruction. That's Lucy's song, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? That's when I met him, when he was singing that song.
You met Grandad?
Yeah, at the die casting. He was working there as a tool setter, and I was working as a machinist. The drilling machines and power presses, two doors, a press with two doors, and you had to close the doors for the cutter to come down and cut the edges off the casting. And that stupid girl, she was told, Carol Nicklin, not to go behind the press. And she did. And she put her hands in. And the cutter come down and cut her fingers off. And she run down the line to Dennis with her fingers in her hand, her other hand. He said, look, Dennis, look, I've cut my fingers off. And oh, Jesus, he nearly fainted. They sewed them back on, though. They got her straight to the hospital and they saved the nerves. Oh, dear. Did frighten Dennis, though. He said, never go behind the power press because the cutters come back sometimes to come down without you closing the gates. We had our happy times, and we used to sit on the line and have our cup of tea and sandwich. And then after work, we'd all walk to town because you got a bus quicker in town. You wouldn't get in the buses down where we come out to work. They were all full when they passed. Yeah, we had some nice times. And we went set in the park on a Sunday after dinner. Bantock Park we used to go to. It was nice, and then we go home for 6.
When was that, Nan?
Oh,
Bantock
God,
Park?
That was, I was 52, 53, 54. Yeah, time marches on.
I know, it sure does.
He was in the army out in Egypt for 2 years. He hated it. He said they were filthy. The lice were crawling on them and they were falling off from onto them. All the soldiers had lice. They had to be sprayed with DDT powder all on the floor and the beds. They were crawling, he said. They were dirty people. They never washed themselves. And the one soldier said, well, if they got that much dirt on the skin, the fleas can't bite them.